Yo, what is up? So in this tutorial, we're going to be continuing on our death system, and we're going to be adding a save system to it. So it'll be like this. Once you die, you can load back, and you're no longer dead. And yeah, that'll be it. Yeah, let's just hop into it. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do, we're gonna hop into our blueprints folder right here. We're gonna make a new blueprint class. Normally this will be closed like this. We're gonna go and tick the all classes. We're gonna find save game. We're gonna make a save game, select, we're gonna call this save system underscore BP. And we're gonna open that up. And basically what you want to do in here is you want to add all the variables that you want to save. So let me just close these out. This is where I was testing. So we'll hop into our third person blueprint. So all the variables, we'll delete that one as well. That was from testing. All the variables that we made, you're going to want to add these to the save system over here. So if you have variables that don't change, then you probably don't need to save them. But for all of these, we're going to save all of these except the is dead. We're just going to, you'll see what we'll do with the is dead. So we're going to add our current health. It's going to be the float. And then we're going to duplicate that and get max health. And that's all we need to do in here for now. Oh, actually, no, we do need to add another one. We're going to add another one called player location. And we're going to make this a transform. I'm going to add that variable into there. And then the next thing we're going to do, we're going to go into our third person folder, or your player character folder. We're going to go to the blueprints. We're gonna go into the game mode that you have. We're gonna do the save system functions in the game mode. So we're gonna open that up. We're gonna open full blueprint editor, and in the event graph, we're gonna get a begin play, and then on here we want to cast to third person character. Then we're gonna get player character. And we're just going to promote this to a variable called player ref. That way we can get all the variables out of our player character. Then we're going to make two functions. First one's going to be called save game. Next one's going to be called load game. We're going to compile and save. Then we're going to go into the save game function here. We're going to click on this and we're going to add an input called save slot. We're gonna make this an integer. We're gonna pull off of here. We're gonna see, does save game exist? And what we're gonna do here is we're gonna hook the save slot into the slot name. We're gonna do it this way because you can have more than one slot doing it this way. And then off of this right here, we're gonna promote this to a variable called save slot, and we're just gonna hook this up, hook that up, and hook that one up. And then after the does save game exists, we're gonna grab a branch. So you can click B on your keyboard and click, and you'll get a branch, and we'll hook that in. And if a save game does not exist, we want to create save game object. The save game class is going to be our save system blueprint, and then we're going to save game to slot, and we'll hook this into our save game to slot, and then we'll hook our save slot variable that we made right here to the save slot. Then we're going to load game from slot, and that'll also be our save slot. And then we're going to cast to save system, cast to our save system BP right here. We're gonna hook the return into the object. And then we're gonna also, right here, if a save game does exist, we're just gonna come down here and hook this to this. To our save game to slot. And then after we cast right here, we're gonna get a sequence node. You can press S on your keyboard and click. We're gonna get that, and we need as many pins. We need the same number of pins as the same number of variables that we're gonna save. So right now we're just saving 3 right here, but we're gonna add a 4th one for our isDead. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull off of our cast the save game right here. We're gonna get a reroute node, and then we need to set all of our variables to the save system. So we're gonna pull off of this, and we're gonna get first we're gonna do the player location. We're gonna set player location to our. We're gonna pull in our player ref and get it, and we're gonna get actor transform, and we'll hook that in. Like that, and then we will hook that to the 0, and then off of this we're gonna also set our current health, set current health, we'll hook that in, and then off the player ref we're gonna get current health and hook that in. And then we're gonna get our max health, and we're gonna set that one off of our save system, and then we're gonna get our max health and hook that in like that, and we'll hook this to the sequence. And then we're not gonna save our isDead. But at the end here, we do need to save game to slot again. So save game to slot, and our save game object is going to be our save game object right here. So we're just going to make a reroute node and plug this bad boy into the save game object, and then slot name is going to be our save slot right here, and we will hook this in right here. And then at the end here, I'm just going to print string so that when we save, we know that we're saved. In the string, we're going to say game saved right there. And that's pretty much it for saving the info. So now we need to go into our load game, and we're going to do something pretty similar in here. We're going to add an input called load slot. And then we're going to see, does save game exist? And again, we're going to hook the load slot into the slot name. We're going to pull back. We're going to promote to a variable. We're going to call this load slot. And we'll hook this in like that. And then we're gonna get a branch, so you can click B and click, get a branch. We'll hook this in. And if a save game doesn't exist, we don't want to do anything. But if it does exist, we want to load game from slot, which is going to be our load slot right here. And then we're going to, again, we're going to cast to save system BP right here. We'll hook this into the object. And again, we're going to need a sequence node, so you're going to press S on your keyboard and click, get a sequence node, hook that in. We're gonna add 4 pins on this one as well. We're gonna pull off of this and get a reroute. We're gonna pull in our player ref again and get that. And on the load slot, we need to basically do the opposite of what we did in our save system. So in the save system, you're setting all the variables to the save system from the player ref. In the load game, you want to set all the variables in the player ref from the save system. So how we're going to do that, first we're going to do the transform. So we're going to pull off of our save system right here. We're going to get player location, and then we're going to set actor transform, and we're going to hook our player ref into the target, and then we'll hook that right there into the first one. We'll pull our player ref back because we're going to need that for some more stuff. We'll pull that up there. Then we're going to set our current health right here. And then we're going to grab our save system and we're going to get current health like that. And we'll hook this into the one. And then we're gonna set our max health right here. And we'll hook that into there. And then we need to, let me look at the variables. So we got those 3. So now for this one, we're just gonna set is dead to false. So that way, anytime we load, we're not dead. That way we don't stay in our death animation. So that should be good for now, right there. And then we're just gonna add another sequence node at the end here and print string. And we're gonna put in the string game loaded. And we'll hook that into the sequence right there. So that way we know if it's executing correctly. So now we need to hop back into our third person character. We're just gonna make a for the time being, we're just gonna make some quick inputs for saving and loading. Actually first let's go up to the begin play. We're gonna add a sequence right here. We're gonna cast to game mode. We're gonna get our cast to BP third person game mode right here. Then off of object, we're gonna get game mode. And then right here, we're gonna promote this to a variable called game mode ref. Like that. And we're just gonna find an empty space and we're gonna get a 1 key for now. And we're gonna pull in our game mode ref, and we're gonna save game. And the slot will be your save slot, get save slot right here. And we'll hook that into there. And we'll compile. And then we're gonna get a 2 key. And we're just gonna copy our game mode ref here. And we're gonna load a game. You know, you want the functions, by the way. You don't wanna, like on the save game, you don't wanna accidentally get save game to slot or load game from slot. You wanna get the functions that we made. So you're gonna hook that into there. And then we're gonna get our load slot. And we'll hook that into the load slot right there. And that should be good. So let's give that a test real quick. Make sure it's saving and loading. So right now we run. Let's just run over here. We clicked one. It did not print string. Hold on. Okay. So the reason it didn't print string right there, just to just to kind of give an example, sometimes when you're making save systems and you change code in the game, sometimes you need to go into your folder where your Unreal Engine project is, because sometimes it can act a little wonky if you add stuff to the game. So what you want to do is go into your saved folder right here, go into save games, and just delete the save game that exists. So that acted wonky right there because I didn't delete the save game from where I was testing this out. So now when you delete that and we go back in, we press 1, we see that the game saved in the top right. We just run to a different location real quick, and then we'll press 2. Oh, whoops. That did not save the transform, so let's see why not. So we didn't get our max health right here. So let's get our max health and plug this in right here. And fix that. Okay, so I found an error that I made, which is on the end of our save game right here, where we're saving game to the slot. We hooked this up from our save game object. We're actually going to pull off of our cast right here, and we're going to hook that one in, and that way it'll save properly. So now if you hop in, play, we're going to press 1 and save. We're going to run to a new location and press 2, and it'll load us back over here. So that was just a little whoopsie, my bad. And yeah, and then we'll take some damage. We'll do a save, and then we will load, and that saves properly. Okay, so yeah, just make sure that you hook it in from our save system cast right here. All right, so let me just put this back together here. All right, so now that we have it saving and loading, we need to change some things about our death on our third-person character here. So we had this disable input set, so we're gonna change that up a little bit. Instead of disabling input, because if you leave this, you won't be able to load after you save. Just to give you an example real quick, we will go all the way dead, and now I'm pressing 2, and I can't press 2 because input is disabled. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna just delete this, and we're gonna set movement mode right here to none, and we'll hook that in, so that way it does the same thing, but you're still able to press your input right here. So now when we hop in, and we'll do a save right here, and then we'll hop in, we'll die. So now you can't move around, but you could still move your camera. But if you press 2, you go back. It didn't load our is dead though from to false. So let's see why that. We're setting it to false. Oh, that's because we need to go into our animation blueprint. So we're gonna go into our animation blueprint, go to ABP Mani, and we don't have a transition back to idle, so we need to add this. So we're gonna go into this transition, we're gonna grab our is dead, and we're gonna get a not boolean, and we'll hook that in right there. So now when you load back after dying, you'll be able to go back to your movement and such. So now we press 2, but when we load back, now we can't walk around. So we're gonna fix that by going into our third person character, and right here where we're loading the game, we're gonna set movement mode. Right here, we're gonna set this to walking. So we'll hook that in. So now when we load, we'll be able to walk again. So we'll test that real quick. We'll do a save right here. We'll hop in and die. And we die. And then we load back. And now we can walk around again. Our health gets set back to full. But we have another issue. If you walk into this, the animation is delayed. Actually, the animation doesn't play at all right now, and that's because of our do once that we have in our death right here. This do once. So we're just gonna move this back, and the only thing we really want to do once is the play the sound, because we don't want that to keep playing after we die in that area. So we're just gonna move this up. We're gonna move the do once to the end right here, and then we're gonna hook this right here. And let's see if that fixes it. It should, but let's check. So we'll do a save right here. We'll go and die. And we'll load back. And now we can move around. Let's go back and try to die again. We die, the animation plays, but the death sound doesn't play again. So we need a way of fixing that. So we basically just need to reset it after we load. So what you could do is just move it all up. We'll just move all of this up to our death, and then we will reset our do once after we've loaded. And then we'll press play. Check to make sure it plays the death sound after we die. It does. So then we'll load back. We'll die again. Yep. And then it plays again. And yeah, that's pretty much how you do save and load. Save and load can be definitely a little bit confusing, especially since you're doing the opposite on each one of these functions. Something else we need to take a look at though is, let's delete our save game right here. And if we don't save and die, so we die and we press 2. It'll just replay the sound, but it doesn't reset anything. So what we need to do is right here before we load, we need to pull back right here. We're gonna see, does save game exist? And we'll hook this right here, and then we're gonna hook our load slot right here, and then we're gonna add a branch and hook that in. And if it does exist, we're just gonna load game right here. And if it doesn't exist, we're gonna open level by name, and then you'll just get your level name. Right now I'm just on the default level, so I don't know what the level name is. So something you could do instead of adding the save and load on your player character is you could do it in your level blueprint. So we'll go here, open level blueprint. This should tell me the name too. Yeah, third person map. So let's add that third person map. See if that works. So now if we die without a save game, it should just open the level back. And now we press 2. Yeah, it just restarts the level. But say you have more than one level, what you could do is just add this code, just copy it, and then go into your level blueprint and press V. We're gonna need to create this variable right here, so we're gonna need to make a begin play, and we will cast to game mode. Cast the BP third person game mode, and then we're gonna get game mode, and then we're just gonna promote this to a variable called game mode ref, and we'll compile and save. Character movement. So we're also gonna need to cast to third person character. We're gonna get game mode. Which honestly, I mean, you don't even really need this part on here, so we'll just delete that instead of casting again. We'll compile and save, because you'll probably want to still leave this code here, and then that way, in the level name right here, instead of having to type it in, you can just get level current level. Where is it? Get current level name. I don't think this works on player character, but let's just check. I don't think it does. Current level. Oh, maybe it does. So we'll just plug this into the false. Let's see if it works. We're doing a little testing on the fly here. Let's see if that works, and then we'll go into here and just disconnect that. Compile, save. Let's see if that works.
Oh, ow.
So we die, we press 2. Oh, it does work. Okay, so you don't actually have to do the, you don't have to do anything in the map. We can just delete this. I thought that only worked on level blueprint. I was wrong. So yeah, you can just get current level name. For some reason, if you don't uncheck, it doesn't show up. So like I was doing a minute ago, you pull off and see the context sensitive here, current level. It doesn't show unless you uncheck that. So you want to uncheck that to find it. And then you hook this up, and we'll hook that into the false. And then, yeah. So that's if a save game doesn't exist, it'll just restart the level. So yep. We'll do that. Load the unsaved. So yep, that's the game unsaved. Let's do a save real quick. We'll save game. And then we'll reload after death, and then we'll boop, reload. I think that just reloaded the level. Hold on, let me run over here. We'll do a save game over here. Okay, hold on. Does save game exist and load slot? We might need to grab save slot. Let's grab that one instead and see if that fixes that. And we'll also, like I said, it can get wonky if a save game exists, so we will delete that save game. Let's do a save over here, and then press 2. Okay, that saved the transform. Yeah, okay, so you're gonna want to do it off of the save slot, it seems. Let's also test that again. So we have no save slot now, we just deleted it. We'll test this. We press 2, it restarts the level. Let's run way over here. We're gonna save game. Let's go die. And then we will press 2 again. And yep, it reloads. So, yep, there we go. Yeah, it can be a little confusing. I still personally still personally get confused with save systems and stuff, but yeah, we got it working, and that's how it goes. So in the next part, we're gonna make a widget, so that when you die, instead of just like pressing 2 to like reload, we'll make it so that once you die, we'll create a widget, and then you'll have the buttons you can press to either like restart the level or just quit game, you know. So that's what we'll do in the next part. Hopefully you got it down. Like I said, it can definitely be a little confusing, and yeah, we're gonna call it here for this one. If you like the video, hit the like button. If you're new around here, definitely subscribe. If you have any questions, let me know down in the comments, and I'll try to get back to you. If you have any other suggestions for other tutorials you may want to see, also let me know those down in the comments, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.